So today we're gonna do Reddit and we're gonna go through a bunch of questions, we're gonna go through a bunch of posts, and we're gonna go through a bunch of things. And yeah, no man is crushed by misfortune unless he has first been deceived by prosperity, a quote by Seneca. But I actually wanna start with, should I start with this? I don't know, but let's actually jump into the self-help subreddit, because often there are some pretty amazing questions, I would say. Am I the only one that is basically just tired? Like every single time things go smoothly, something happens, not big things, but things that just fuck up your plans, you mood for a couple hours or even days. Like I'm not even angry. It could be karma or the fact that I'm unlucky, but I don't even care. I just wanted to stop thinking for a minute. I tend to overthink and relax. So when he wants to stop thinking for a minute and then also relax. Fuck coronavirus, fuck school, fuck social network, and fuck all the people that are never satisfied with what I do. Sorry if spelling isn't right, English isn't my first language. Sorry, you're not well and tired. Hope you get better soon. There is a thing called decision fatigue. When you have to make a lot of decisions or just daily decisions, you get tired. Right now it is a pandemic which changes our routine a lot. School is basically doing that all the time to gain some mental stamina. If you lack systems in your life, then it's more decisions. Yes, it is actually the case. The more systems and the more habits and the more routines that you're having, the less decisions you have to make. And I do really believe that it is one of the main reasons why I have been able to do so many things. I don't want to overdo things. I don't want to be like, wow, I'm so super, I'm so great. But I do quite a lot of things on a daily basis, recording, designing, sports, and all of these things, and I really got into a routine. It is just something that I do. I don't really think about it. It is just something that I do. And then, some people come up to me and be like, well, how do you find the time to do that? How are you able to do that? I don't have the time for doing so and so. And I think, well, I don't know. First of all, I make the time. And second of all, I prioritize these things that I want to do and I quote unquote need to do. But I mean, yeah, we all can. And yes, this whole corona time thing is fucked up. I really have to admit, and especially when it is about school, and I'm so fucking sorry for all those people that are still going to school. I fortunately graduated this summer, and fortunately because I think that, this homeschooling thing and live stream bullshit I think it is cool from education perspective on. I think it is a pretty nice thing. For some people, it might actually be one of the best things because they can sit at home, they can, sleep a bit more, they can get more rest. But for some other people like me, who needs to have people around them, it is a fucked up thing because you're essentially always alone, and the feeling of connection that you're normally having in school isn't there, at least not as normally, and as I don't want to say as it should be, but as I was used to it having. And so this is one of the reasons why it really fucked with me. But everything is gonna be fine. Of course, there's going to be a few things in your life, but I also just do want to say, and it is something very stoic, when something is happening and it is quote unquote crushing your dreams or crushing your plans or crushing whatever the fuck you're up to, then it might have just been meant to be the case. Amor fati, love faith. Whatever's happening, love it. Don't even accept it, but love it. Don't wish for it to be different. It is something pretty difficult, I admit that, and I don't know. Like, I also really believe that we can always find something good in whatever bad is happening. I really tremendously believe in that, because there's always just two sides of a coin. On one hand, yeah, okay, school is fucked. I don't have this social connection. On the other hand, though, I can really focus on fitness and working out and just really get my meals appropriately timed and stuff like that. Like, there's always a good and bad side, and we can also make bad things relatively good. I don't want to say just amazing. I don't want to say whatever, but we can make them quite good and quite fine and quite okay. So they're not that bad anymore and not that, soul crushing. Let's see if there is another good question. I can't handle losing in any competition. so shitty to the people around me that I compete with, whether it be my family members in the sport or my friends in anything competitive, be it bowling, go-karting, video games, etc. I can't handle a loss even if it was a good game. I beat myself up over the loss and I lash out to the people I love and hurt them with words without thinking. Then, when I sit alone, I think about how I've acted and how shitty of a person I've been to my friends and family. How can I not be such a sore loser and just learn to enjoy the competition? I'm trying to not compete in things anymore just so there's no chance for me to get mad if I lost. I've talked to my friends about it and he tells me to just not take it seriously and to relax, but something inside me just snaps and I can't accept losing. I want to be a better person to my friends and family. I don't want them to hate me over the way I act. I could really use some advice and appreciate any help y'all can provide. And first of all, I really got up with this because it is essentially something that's in my life as well. Like really, just as this person is explaining it, I'm having the same not the same person, but the same problem. I do lash out, or I lashed out on people, and I really hate losing, and I really hate not being good at some things. But I do believe that meditating really helped me to cope with these feelings at least a bit better. And yeah, because you can really then feel your feelings and you can really feel it coming up. And when you feel it coming up, then you can remind yourself of the fact that, okay, it's not about life and death. It's not about something that's really, really important. It is just a little tiny competition with you and your friends. And it is not something that's deciding over your whole life or something similar. So first point for me, meditating really helped me. On the other hand, something that I've seen as well is that mitigating the amount of stress that you're having in other situations in your life, whether it be relationships, whether it be school stress, whether it be something else, can also really mitigate the amount of outlashing that you're having quite. I've actually seen, which is something that's quite interesting, that I'm not that angry anymore, but I haven't been in just some real competitions up to this point since then quite, which, also something to really consider, and this is also why I'm saying it. But after I've broken up with my girlfriend, I have actually, pretty much seen that I've gotten a bit more relaxed and that I've gotten a bit more, maybe balanced. I don't know. It's not been a bad relationship, not at all. It's been a really amazing relationship. But I don't know, of course, there's always going to be some things that are pissing you off. And I don't know, also maybe searching for another way to get loose of this temper or get loose of this anger, maybe through sports, maybe through therefore working out, maybe through painting, maybe through actually talking to a therapist, which I'm also very, very much recommending, because if it is indeed something that is hurting your life, if it is indeed something that is hurting you and maybe also the people around you that you love, then why not? It is not a bad thing to seek help, professional help. And it doesn't mean that you need help, I would say. It just means that you want to progress. You want to improve yourself. You want to improve yourself for the sake of having a better life and for the sake of also just giving your loved ones a better life, So for me, it is like, getting help and, being ill and whatnot. It's always having some sort of a strange taste to it, it is like, okay, you're ill, you're just, there's something wrong with you. No, you just want to improve, you want to improve your life, which is something, and also yourself, which is something that not everybody is doing, unfortunately. And yeah, I'm quite also searching for an answer to this thing, but I don't know, I think really, as I said, meditating, then doing something else, mitigating the amount of stress that you're having in your life in general, and really seeing what situations they are, because, some situations might be more severe, quote unquote, and might just get you more angry, and some less, and really figuring out why it is the case and what it is, and then why it is the case, I think is tremendously important, so that you can, I'm quite always against being like, well, I don't just put myself into this particular situation anymore. Why? What's going on? I'm not really that big of a fan of that, and I'm also not that big of a fan of it. Why? I don't know what's going on, but I kind of believe, and I've often thought about it, and I recently had to think about it, whether I should really put myself into certain situations that I know are going to be tough for me, or if I should be, if I should get away from them and just really try to not be in these situations. And I still don't know what is better. I like to be in these situations because I believe that I can learn something from that and that I can harden my mind and harden myself. But of course, it's maybe not the best thing to staying and being happy on one hand. So also something to think about and consider and keep in mind. How do I stop procrastinating? Because it's seriously ruining my life. I'm an art student going to university. Here's the thing though, I have gone to 3 different colleges because of how badly my grades slip from procrastinating. It's not that I turn in half assess projects most of the time, it is that I get so intimidated that I don't even try. Needless to say, my track record has a lot of zeros. I know this is bad for me and my mother knows about this whole shit shows as well. It always ends up with us arguing, making up, and then not really putting any more thought into it. She's mentioned that I probably need a therapist, but all she's done is... What? She's mentioned that I probably need a therapist, but all she has done is up my dosage and call it a day. I take Zoloft. I know she's probably worried about me getting dependent on medications, but having no other input is really frustrating for me. At this point, since my procrastinating has gone so out of my hand, it's affected my college career. I don't think mom just leaving me to work on it by myself because I clearly am not competent enough. Do I need a professional? Is there something wrong with me? Or am I really spoiled, ungrateful brat? I'd love to hear some other kind of opinion. Thanks. First of all, before I actually go through the comments, which there is two, and I do want to say that no, it is not your mother's fault. It is not about, okay, she is upgrading your dosage and then calling it a day. It's not her problem. Of course, you're just, or this person is this mother's child, of course, but it is not her problem. It is his problem or her problem. I don't actually know. And it kind of sounded for me like to really, push off the responsibility to the mother. Because, she's mentioned that I probably need a therapist, but all she has done is up my dosage and call it a day. It really sounds quite, why haven't you done more? Why aren't you doing more? And she probably worried about me getting dependent on medications, but have no other input is really frustrating for me. But having no other input is really frustrating for me, which kind of also, I'm not quite sure, but also sounds like, okay, she could do more, she could do whatever, but no, it is not her shit. It is your shit or this person's shit. And something very, 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 very important to think about. Responsibility. My responsibility is how I'm feeling, how mentally and physically. It is my fault. It is what I'm doing. It obviously depends on your age, but of course, if you're a fucking student and stuff like that and going to university, you probably are just old enough to make yourself happy and make yourself healthy and keep yourself healthy and happy. And maybe university isn't a place you should be in. Maybe you should be working. Maybe you should be doing something different. Maybe, but maybe indeed, maybe there's some subconscious bullshit that's going on, and therefore seeking a therapist and going to a therapist is always going to be a good idea. Why are you doing this? Why are you procrastinating? Why aren't you doing things? There must be something about that, as, okay, you have a broken leg. Why are you having a broken leg? It's the same fucking bullshit. Let's actually see what the people are saying. If I were you, I would do this. Make a list of 20 important things you have to do. Arrange them in order of priority, the most important ones on the top of the list. Only do the top 5 and keep the other tasks pending until you finish the first 5. Bring yourself to start the hard projects or essay and don't give it to performance pressure. Nobody's perfect. You don't need to be perfect either. So just do it. Which I think is also a very, 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 very important message. Just do it. Don't be about Okay, I have to do it perfect. I have to do an amazing job. I have to whatever. Just do it. Just do something about it. Just make something. Whatever it is, just make it. Maybe you should try seeking a professional just to see if it helps. I'm considering going that route as well. I'm going through the same thing, except the only thing getting me by is doing something is better than nothing. I'm a chemical engineer student, so literally procrastinating for just one day puts me so behind. I feel like I'm always trying to catch up at this point and I'm learning nothing. I'd suggest to not look at the big picture, break your projects or time up into little manageable tasks or chunks. Just keep jibbing at it and eventually you will get it done. Good luck. One last one. Mapping your self-care, self-love. Babies are perfect examples of self-love. Though they depend on adults for all their needs, they show us what it means to love ourselves unconditionally. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck is among the stupidest books. Hello fellow Redditor, I see you reaching for the downvote because I hurt your feelings. Listen to what I have to say first. He literally says, the less you try, the better you are, and says, notice how the most successful people try the least, yet that is utter bullshit. Look around you, let's see. Look around you, the valedictorian works his ass off, the CEO works his ass off, etc. Is this book just about how to be happy with your pathetic life and not giving a fuck? It has so many good reviews, but I don't understand why. Hard work isn't everything. Working your ass off, but working stupid, this is a comment by the way, working stupid is just a waste of time. Those were the types who would waste weeks studying for engineering midterm that most only spend a couple nights studying for and get a 60% in my undergrads. It's not about trying less unless you literally only read the first chapter. It is about perspective. Though technically, I suppose there are multiple ideas in the book. That is the one that struck me the most. Sometimes you perceive an event as a failure, but only because your expectations may not align with what you're able to achieve. Once you adjust your perspective to accept any good that you are able to create for yourself without comparison or diminishing the goodness because it didn't align with what you originally thought, it becomes easier to live life feeling more free, because it is about setting your own standards and accepting the standards that you think you should follow because of what others think. He doesn't say the less you try, the better you are. It seems to me you didn't even finish the book. Are you sure you read the book? If you did, I don't think you took away what the main points were. Which, by the way, I think considering everything it is the case. When you're just having negative feelings towards anything, whether it is a person, whether it is a book, whether it is a situation, whether it is whatever, I tremendously believe that it makes sense that you should really think about whether you have understood. What do you have understand? What if you understood? Is it understood? I don't know. Fuck, man. Whether you have understood? I think it is understood. I don't know. Whether you've understood, whether you have really gotten the points or not, because I don't know. Like, it is very, very easy to how should I say, to be like, well, this is not a good book. This is not a good movie. This is not a good whatever, because if you don't understand it and if you don't get it, of course, everything is just whatever, which is the exact same fucking thing with art. If you don't get art, of course, it is something that you could do in 5 minutes. Something you could do in 10 minutes. Something you could do in 20 seconds. Yeah. But if you get art, it is something completely different. If you get architecture, it is something completely different. If you just have a bit more, maybe background knowledge as well. Okay, this painting took 20 fucking years. Okay, are you just that committed that you're doing a painting for 20 fucking years? I don't know. Like, I do really want to, I don't know. Like, I'm just very often against harsh emotions on the negative side. Because I always think like, well, am I really getting it? Am I really right? Am I really thinking about this thing in the right way? Do I have the proper amount of knowledge to really decide whether this is something good or bad? this is how I work. This is how I like to deal with things, which puts me in the place that really lets me see things differently, see more, and I just believe that it is a good thing. But yeah, I think that I'm gonna end the episode there. So I wish you the best health, of happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're gonna remain yourself and you're gonna be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person and then being remembered as a nice person, which is a pretty fucking cool thing. 3 other questions that I have for you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully gonna show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, which is a pretty fucking cool thing. Yeah. One last thing that I have for you is: what could you essentially say to another person that's indeed going to change their life? Because I totally believe that we all can say something. I totally believe that we all can communicate something that's indeed going to change somebody's life. And yeah, with that being said, I'm hopefully going to see you next time. Please take care of your family members, your friends, and all of your loved ones. And yeah, bye-bye.